by the way. Did you know that? They like paid to get their asses removed and like look athletic again. And now you just spent all that money and went through all that pain to look like them. And so my point is people are morphing to look not like themselves, to be not like themselves, and to be unmemorable and forgettable. Okay. So be an expert in your field, be memorable, but not by not being yourself. Okay. So those are a few tips, and they're going to come in handy when we go over things that we need to go over. Okay. So let's talk about media. Let's talk about a few things, some definitions before we get into actual PR stuff. Been talking a lot. I'm going to sip. Feel free to interrupt me anytime for my friends that are on the actual Zoom. This is being live streamed. I'm going to have faith that the live stream actually happened, but don't worry, Matt, this is being recorded if we need to upload this after the fact. Don't worry. So we have paid, owned, and earned media. Okay. So paid media, it covers anything that you buy, anything that you paid for. All right. Like advertisements, this is like TV ads, billboards, social media marketing. If you're sponsoring an event that somebody else is throwing, anything that advertises your business, anything that is a direct exchange of money. Okay. Owned media refers to anything that you own. All right. So your website, your social media platforms, any content that you like created, so that, or anything that you post, so that is owned media. Okay. Media refers to any media that you earn without paying for it. Okay. So there's a couple of ways to earn media. That's the most accessible way, is to pitch a news story. This is what we're really going to cover down on today. Pitch a news story about something interesting that happens in your business to a local news outlet or journalist. Another way is to donate money or charity, to provide products for free, to influence organizations or cause. Pitching stories, thinking about the location, how you can tie that into the story, prominence, blah, 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 blah. Okay. You want to make sure that you're timely in your responses. You want to make sure you're professional, things like that. Okay. I'm going to cover down on a couple of my favorite resources. Has anybody heard of Haro, Help a Reporter Out? Has anybody used that? Okay, cool. Let's talk about that. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me check the chat real quick. Okay, good. So we're live. All right. Dan had to run. Let's see. One of these days, I swear I'll have my act together and have things actually pulled up. I'm going to show an example of how a Haro email actually looks as well, because I do actually use Haro. So I'm going to show you Haro's site, and then I'll show you what Haro looks like when it actually gets to your inbox. Where's my... There we go. Okay. Helpareporter.com, guys. Write that down. Share my screen. Maximize. Okay. Okay, check me out. Helpareporter.com. Move my thing over here. Okay, so basically you can select two things. We're going to be a source. All right. So you're going to say, I'm a source. And this is talking about all of the rules. Okay. It is not pretty. It is not easy. You need to be dedicated. You need to be not dedicated, but when you commit to using this, you need to be thorough and you need to follow the rules. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to get kicked off of the system. You're not going to be taken seriously. All right. So, has anybody heard of the hardcore closer? Oh gosh, what's his name? I forget his name. Anyway, he makes millions and he swears by this. It's one of the ways that he, ended up making millions, getting his name out there. He talks about help a reporter out. He got his social media way up. Okay. Because when CNN starts like legitimizing you, I've done reports for Business Insider, things like that. Okay. It will straight up say the resource on here and I'll show it to you. Okay, guys. So let's go through the rules. Here's how it goes. The sources are going to receive, that's us, 3 emails a day, Monday through Friday at these times. All right. If you're knowledgeable about any of these topics, you're going to scan the emails. If you're knowledgeable about any of the topics, you're going to reply directly through the anonymous link that it gives you. And you have to have clear, reasonable expertise in a topic relevant to the query you're responding to. If the source's authority on a topic is not apparent from the title or the business they represent, must clearly explain why. You're a subject matter expert offering your pitch. So let's say you're like, hey, this isn't exactly what you asked, but I think you're going to want to know this because of this article that you're writing. And this is the information that I'm offering you. This is why, because remember, these are reporters. They're going to, if you think they're going to want to include this in their article, like write them about it. Remember, you're reading articles all the time. You're scanning your phone all the time. Be helpful to them. Help a reporter out, right? But sources found routinely pitching beyond their area of expertise may be immediately removed from Haro at the editor's discretion. Okay. Sources must send their own unique responses when replying to journalist source requests. Sending a journalist plagiarized content will result in termination of the source's account. So again, this is like serious business. You cannot mess around with this. All right. Do not spam reporters with off-topic pitches in response to their queries. Some sources may not require backlink link swaps in exchange for the use of their pitch, or use Haro solely to acquire backlinks without contributing meaningful to the posted query. Do we understand what backlinks are, or do you guys want to kind of go into what backlinks are? So people who are like bloggers or vloggers are all about backlinks. And I would rather kind of like I would rather like Google backlinks instead of talk about it. So it's an incoming hyperlink from one page to another website. The more backlinks you have pointing back to your site, the more popular it will be. So basically, let's say CNN runs a spiel on Sandy Burnett, that broker girl, on their site. And then they're like, you can check out all of that broker girl's whatever here. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be famous, right? So that's a backlink back to my site. All right. So what it's saying is I'm not allowed to necessarily like require it. I'm not allowed to require it in exchange for use of my pitch. Okay. But like they can help me out if they choose to. Like it would be really nice. So they're allowed to help me out and give me backlinks, but I'm not allowed to require it. We tracking? Okay. So quid pro quo backlink requirements or backlink farming may be grounds for immediate removal. However, I'm going to show you on these emails that they're pretty cool. They're like, send us your pitch, send us your bio. Like they're pretty cool about it when they like give you the email. They're like, send us what you got, you know. Do not pitch products in your source request reply unless the source request specifically asks for a product. You may sorry, my dogs are dreaming always during my episodes. You may forward queries via email or social media. As a matter of fact, we encourage it. You are not allowed to harvest any reporter information provided in the Haro emails for any reason. So basically, you're not allowed to be like, what is your story? Like, or like, what is your personal information? How do I get a hold of you? Things like that. Okay. You're not allowed to reply to source requests with complete relevant answers to their questions. So there have been times where I miss things, or you'll see these emails when they come through, they're a lot. Again, they come through 3 times a day, and I wish that Haro, there was a way that you could like click a bunch of boxes and be like, these are the topics I'm knowledgeable on. That is not how this is about to go. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you how it goes. It is not how it goes. And you'll see what I mean. So you have to scan these and you're going to see, oh my gosh, I accidentally like replied some whack ass reply. I didn't cover what I meant to reply. So what I will do is I'll immediately reply back. I'm so sorry. I missed the mark on my reply. What I meant to say was this. Okay. So ignore my last reply. I'm actually not an idiot. Here's my real reply. Like, these people are human just like us. They want a legitimate, they want good information and whatever, they get it. So hopefully. Okay, so if you're replying to a source, this is super important. So if you have virtual assistants, cough, cough, I know where to find good ones. If you are replying to a source request on behalf of your client, directly reply with your client's response. Do not reply solely with, my client can speak about this. That's the quickest way to get your client kicked off the platform. Okay. So if you're scrubbing for information on behalf of your client, take relevant topics to your client and say, do you want to respond about these things? So for finding content ideas, this could be a task for bringing business back to your client. All right. Or bringing business back to your client, bringing value, right? So this could be an Asana task, couple times a week, 3 times a week. Scrub these and bring these back to your client, bring these topics and say, these are the deadlines, assign these Asana tasks back to the client. And if the client wants to respond, they will. And then, copy paste the reply and send it back to the reporter on behalf of the client. I think that would be a great idea for the VAs watching this. Do not include attachments in your reply to a reporter source request. Attachments are automatically stripped from the email in order to protect reporters from viruses. So what I do is I actually put links in my replies. So for instance, my bio is a link to a Google, is it like Google Word doc? I don't even know what it is. I feel like I'm turning 40 next month. I feel like a fucking 80-year-old though when I like speak about technology now. Like, what happened? What happened? I felt like I was all up on technology and then now I feel like an idiot. Anyway, Google Word doc is where I keep my bio. And then in a link inside of that Google Word doc, I have a link to my headshot. Okay. So that way, if you guys want something from somebody, make it as easy as possible on them. Okay. So if I want something from a reporter, i.e. print print my headshot, print my bio, print everything you can about me. Like, here's everything on a silver platter. All right, guys. If you have relevant supplemental information or collateral that's helpful to a story, use a service like Dropbox to send links to the reporter in your pitch. Anonymous queries are often larger outlets that choose to anonymize their listing to alleviate spam or deter story poaching. Reply to these queries as detailed above. Do you guys understand number 13? Can you read between the lines on those? Number 13 means that if it's not naming the source, if number 13 is not naming the source, then it usually means it's like, boom, CNN, boom, something really huge would print you. Like Vanity Fair, like something huge, People Magazine, whatever. Like, if it's anonymous, it's probably a huge outlet that you could get your name on. Okay. Media professionals are encouraged to perform additional due diligence prior to pitching, be excellent to each other. I think that's dumb, personally. Duh. Okay, so I just wanted to go through those rules because it's like, you guys, if you're anything like me, you're not going to take the time to read it. So it's like, we might as well do this together. Am I right? So anyway, there you go. You're welcome. I took up a bunch of your time doing that, but I felt like it was important because we're not going to do that. You're not going to take your time to do that. All right. So let's go over to the email. Here's an example of a Haro email. Says yesterday at 4:40 p.m., but I feel like one has come in this morning, but whatever. Here's how they come through looking all crazy. Okay. So like I said, they don't come through like, you can't just go to haro.com and be like, oh, like these are the topics I'm knowledgeable in. Please give me like business and real estate and, you know, whatever. And being a mom or, you know, shit like that, fitness and health. Okay. So we've got everything like biotech, like I have to scroll through biotech, you know, and see if maybe there's an off chance, okay, that I might happen to know something in this, but I'll read a couple of headlines and see, maybe I might know. Okay. So I read every single headline honestly, and just see if there's a chance that I might know something. Okay. And this actually really sucks to do from the phone, but sometimes during my breaks. Okay. So like, again, in our, with my VAs, oops, sorry guys. With my, VAs, I'll show you real quick how we do it on Slack. For those of you who have not seen Slack or used Slack, you are missing out. But we do our like check-in, check-out channel. But if we're ever like on break, you know, I'll say like, "Ooh, I'm on break," or whatever. Okay. And so I will be like, "Oh, I'm on break." But really, instead of being a reasonable person who like legitimately goes on break, I lay down, and that's what I do. That's when I actually check Haro. I'll like lay down and I'll scroll through these emails and I'll see, is there anything like interesting that I might want to reply on? Because I'm in this zone where I like 2023, you guys, this is like shit's going to happen for me this year. I made it up. I made my mind up. This is my year. Okay, guys. And this can be your year too. Like, let's all fucking do this together. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going through here and I'm reading the list, and it's usually business and finance that I'll go through. And there's usually a lot of the times it'll say like, look, New Orleans realtors. Okay. But sometimes it's like, just real estate in general. How I made it in marketing podcast, that would be, one that I could sometimes respond to, I could probably respond to one. I responded to a Chat GPT one the other day. And I can actually show you, if you guys want, I can show you how I respond to like the actual emails, like stuff that I send them, if you guys would be interested in seeing that. So anyway, I go through here, general, looking for the best applicant tracking software. Oh, and there's one about like, have you ever, how do you feel about working remote, managing employees remote? Matt, Karen, I straight up, you best believe I answered that one. I said, I run 2 businesses, 100% remote, blah, 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 blah. I did a whole thing on that. Like, I really hope I get featured for that one. So, you know what I mean? So it's just like, that you just like totally just kind of like read through these, go down the line. And then what they do, so like this one just wasn't, this is super gross, but you guys, I totally had surgery and had one of these removed like back in 2010. That sucked. So I can go there, and what happens is you click on that, and what it would do is, for some reason on the email, or on the phone, it's really good about going all the way down, but for some reason on my computer, it doesn't. So let's just pretend it did go all the way down on the phone. And so it'll go here, and you would click there and you answer these questions. Okay. And the media outlet is Yahoo. Straight up says that. Here's the name of the journalist, Jamie Smith. Here's the question she has. Boom, boom, boom. And you answer. And you write what she wants to know. And she has her deadline 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So it's really cool. Like, it's very straightforward, very easy, and like I said, on the phone, like those links tend to work, but on the mail app or the Apple Mail app on the computer, or the Mac Mail app, excuse me, it doesn't work for me. I don't know. It's a fail. It's a fail. WTF Wednesday is a fail today. So Help a Reporter Out is one of the biggest resources for my whole like PR thingy. That is just huge for me. So another big thing that I want to talk about is branding. Ryan and I, actually, not to call you out, brother, but Ryan and I talk about, for branding, he and I have 2 very different approaches, and I think that they both work in great ways. I do a third party, I guess, a third person branding. Okay. So I am that broker girl. And why I like it is because I think it's easier to be like referred to as, it's easier in social media to be posted as like, that broker girl sold another house, and that broker girl won an award, that broker girl has been, awarded XYZ. It's just like, for me, it's less cringy when, posting accolades. And for some reason, it has been like an image and a life a name that has taken on like a life of its own. Okay. Even the other company that I created, I made it like powered by that broker girl. Okay. So I created like a bunch of other things, images like in its name. Ryan, what is cool about how he created, the Van Dale group his real estate, company, if you will, he, your name, like nobody can take that from you. They can never make it, like the state can never outlaw, your name, your realist, like creating your real. Can I have you to open up your mic and talk about that, Ryan? Because like you and I have talked about that a while for that.
Okay, so yeah, prior to being in the Vandale group, I was Altered Realty. Prior to that, I was River City Living and loved River City Living, but ended up having to ditch that through a failed partnership. But then when I rebranded to Altered Realty, I thought it was great. It was kind of stupid, funny, double meaning, and I liked it for some reason. And then when I was told I couldn't use realty in my team name because the state of Illinois wouldn't allow it, unless I would have waited a couple more months, and then I could have just had a team on the end of it and would have been just fine. I was going to just like keep the name and open up my own brokerage because I didn't want to rebrand all over again. And when I kind of let the cat out of the bag that I was doing so, it was what's his name?
Rick
From Rick Jiha has sat me down and told me my name was stupid. Nobody cares about my name. Altered Realty is the shitty name. Don't worry about it. Just trash it. Doesn't matter how much you paid to rebrand, even if it was like $50,000. Who gives a shit? You're making a mistake. You can't run a brokerage for less than $5,000 a year because you're an icon agent. So ditch your stupid brand. Use your name. Nobody can take that from you, and you'll make it up like 10 times over staying with EXP. And I did that, and I did not agree with him at the time because the only reason I liked doing the whole third party thing was nobody spells my name right. So I have an extra E in there, which throws everybody off. Most people call me Vandale, Vandale, all kinds of stuff. It's Vandale, but it's Vandaele, and nobody gets it right. So that's the reason why I liked going with all these other names other than myself, because you can spell those. So I switched, and guess what? I didn't lose any business. I actually gained more business, and then I ended up buying every URL around that name. So no matter how you spell it, you find me, and it didn't really matter anyway. So it ended up working in the long run.
Thanks. Yeah. And so that's what we talked about, because you were there when I created that broker girl. And when I was trying to figure out how do I, take this direction into, team form, or, when I was creating, podcasts and shows and, just different things like that. And so thanks for your, input and everything, with that. So it's important to have a consistent brand, consistent headshots. Ryan's always been really good about that. I make fun of him, but like always like with love, but he takes the same, photo every time wherever he's at. And, like he has his look. He has his black t-shirt. He has his, glasses, that he smiles the same way. I've got my look. I've got my vibe. Everybody knows what they're getting with me. And people need to know that with you. They need to know what they're getting with you. And that's how, when managing your PR, if you're not going to pay somebody to do that, reporters or PR, so like your local, so locally in the Quad Cities, we would have like Paula Sands or whatever. They need to know that they could count on whoever the hell is actually going to come to the station. They need to know that who they're getting is coming, be who you say you're going to be, do what you say you're going to do, show up to your appointments, things like that. I've said this before. I have a calendar app. Right now it's Calendly. I don't swear by it. But I have people booking appointments with me. whatever appointment booking app you want to have, make sure that you have it and that you enforce it, but that you live by it, that you honor your appointments that are booked with you. I rarely reschedule appointments. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, if somebody is like booking an appointment with me, it is super rare that I'm rescheduling, or that, God forbid, I like just don't show up, or that I'm like, changing or being like, can't make it, sorry girl. I'm just like not one of those people. Okay. So run your business like a business. But in the whole PR side of things, spend time getting to know your craft. Make sure that you deeply understand your craft. I am basically, I've embraced, it used to be where I'm the controversial one. Okay, guys. Anyone who knows me, if you know, you know. Okay. So like my stories and stuff and my reels tend to be on the controversial side. I post a little bit like on the offensive side. I say what's on my mind. I'm very uncensored, because that, number one, I want to. That's just, it's on my mind. For instance, I think I like posted a reel or a story actually yesterday about buying a house. Like, just because those people that are talking people out of buying a house right now, just because they, got a house a couple of years ago when the rates were good, it doesn't make them a financial advisor. It makes them lucky that they got one when the rates were good, things like that. So I am more controversial, and I am not for everybody. And I have embraced that. Okay. So, some people are afraid of not being for everybody. And I used to be that way, but I realized that not all money is good money, and not all clients are good clients. And I'd rather kind of like have the clients that are my clients be like the most loyal evangelists ever. Instead of like chasing the ones, or like begging the wrong ones to, be with me. Okay. So, I'd rather have 20 like killer strong clients a year than like 35 nightmares. Does that make sense? So there's that. I would like to open it up for, okay, there's another big one that I wanted to go over with real quick, because this is a little bit about creating content, and this will get you perhaps reached out to by media outlets. One of our friends actually got interviewed by CNN, and it made it on CNN. He thought it was not a joke, but he thought it was a scam at first. And then that led to more articles and everything. And it was due to some content that he created on social media, because of him posting the right SEO, the right keywords and everything. So Matt, my VA, actually taught me this, and because of that, Matt, do you want to teach us about Answer the Public?
About like SEO, Answer the Public.
Yeah, Answer the Public.
Yeah, I think you're talking about, I don't know if that's JJ. He used ChatGPT as his like topic for the Harrow or answerthepublic.com, which is really a great thing to talk about right now, because it's trending. It's all over TikTok, all over YouTube, all social media platforms. So that's one thing that we have to take a look at as well when we are creating a content for answerthepublic.com. Make sure that we're talking about trending topics that people are going to be interested in. All right. And that you're knowledgeable of. So do a lot of research. Whenever I am creating SEO or like a topic for CND, I do a lot of research. I watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts and then read some blog posts. I even, check the Reddit for like ideas and topics that, what are people are into right now. Okay. And then aside from that is the tagging, using the right keywords. There is a tool for, using the right keywords. It's called Keywords. It's just a Google Chrome extension. All right. There's also vidIQ for keywords. It will suggest any keywords that are relevant to your viewers. So there are a lot of tools out there, but mainly what I'm using is Keywords. That's Google Chrome extension, and then vidIQ. That's a Google Chrome extension. And then for captions, descriptions, and whatnot, normally I take inspiration from other creators, and then I also rephrase that from Chat GPT, all right, to make it easier, less stressful on my end, right? So rephrase that using Chat GPT, but also using the right keywords that you got from Keyword tool and vidIQ tool. All right, so that on your title you have the keyword. All right, you have the keyword on the title. On the description, you have the keywords that you're putting on your tags, and then on your tags you also have exactly the same keywords that was mentioned on your description. So that is optimizing your SEO. So whenever people are searching in YouTube or in Google, it might be, there will be higher chances that your video will be recommended, all right, for or your blog, your content, and whatnot. So that same goes with Haro as well. So whenever you're creating content for Haro, make sure that you are talking about the topics that are relevant and trending right now.
That's awesome. I didn't even know you were using that stuff. That's awesome. Today I learned.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, right, Nikki? That's cool. I'll show you guys answer the public real quick if you guys want to see it. Let's see. And then I'll let you guys go. Take my toolbar over here. Matt blew my mind with this one. Okay, so since a lot of us are in real estate on here, so this is where I like totally will think of, content and what to do a quick video on. Nikki, this will be amazing for you with your reels. So just real estate right here. Boom. These are the most searched questions. Okay, right now, boom, highly searched, the key indicators. This is the visualization. So you'll want to go for the darkest ones. Okay, so this one, will real estate go down in 2023? Like prices in our area, I would like start to comment like prices aren't going down. I can't talk about rates, but whatever. Darkest, can real estate agents have tattoos? Can real estate be a side job? Just shit like that. When can real estate prices be expected to decrease? When will real estate market crash? Are real estate taxes deductible? Just like all this shit. What can real estate agents do? Or what do real estate agents do? Look, isn't that cool?
There's actually a better view instead of using that, graph or that circle like view. Scroll up, there is like a data view there. Yep.
Yeah, and then it has you like log in and shit, doesn't it? Where is it?
No, it's beside visualization.
Where?
There.
Data. And how? So like when I'm doing agent attraction and stuff, I can talk about like I've already done some of these topics, like can real estate commission be paid into an LLC? Like, just shit like that. and then tax guys can talk to agents like, can agents write off clothing, blah, blah, blah. So I just thought that that was like killer. And then here's all like the prepositional questions. Real estate with no money. So yeah, it just gives me like ideas to get like my videos flowing. Like whenever I'm stuck, like what the fuck do I talk about? So there you go. There's Answer the Public. All right, guys. Well, let me make sure that I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Keep track of your accomplishments. This is something that, again, is really hard for me to, Matt knows. I like get all like teared up and frustrated whenever I have to talk about myself on video or anything I accomplished. It makes my fucking skin crawl. But you really do truly need to like, track your accomplishments. Real estate is the time to brag, or, real estate, I mean, entrepreneurship, it is the time to brag. You need to keep track of your accomplishments. People need to put their faith in you. Like nobody's going to keep track of your accomplishments. You do need to track your accomplishments because journalists and shit, they need to understand your accolades. So keep track of your accomplishments. All right. Again, like we talked about, be responsive and proactive, make sure you're networking. Not a bad idea to join, Chamber of Commerce and everything. We talked about personal branding. Once you decide on your personal brand, stick with it. Don't change it a million times. You don't need a fancy logo. Actually, the simpler the logo, the better. If you check out my That Broker Girl logo, I developed that, oh my God, so long ago, that TBG. I developed it in Canva and I've stuck with it ever since. I mean, maybe one day when I have a ton of money, I'll pay somebody to fancify it and but for now it's like 2 different styles of font that I threw together years ago. And, it's simple and it works for us. And it's been that way for years and we stuck with it. And we plaster it everywhere. If you change your headshot, because I don't like catfishing people. So, I dyed my hair one day, I dyed it blonde from red, and I changed my headshot everywhere. People need to know what you look like. Don't catfish people. So if you do change your headshot in one spot, your profile picture needs to be your headshot. Change that shit everywhere. If you start wearing glasses, update your headshot, change it everywhere. So, all right, guys, any questions from anybody? Everybody good?
No, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in to this WTF Wednesday, and I hope to see everybody next Wednesday. And take it easy. Take care.